Good morning, everyone. Kaylee Williams from Volunteer Local, hailing all the way from Des Moines, Iowa, to be here today. I actually was at a conference in Orlando at the Disney World Resort, and I'd never been there before, and it was truly magical. And then I always try to loop in a Wembley Cups presentation whenever I travel for work. Once upon a time, I was an organizer myself for Des Moines, which, funny enough, was the pilot city after Kansas City for Wembley Cups. So it's been a good ride. It's really cool to see cities all across North America with their own Wembley Cups gatherings. Okay, there we are, Team Volunteer Local. Thank you for having me here today, and thanks to Jan and Rupert for their organizing skills. Again, I'm with Volunteer Local, and Volunteer Local is a volunteer scheduling and registration platform for events all over the world. There we go. Here at Volunteer Local, we know that behind every great event, there are happy volunteers. We also know that behind every great volunteer force, there's usually one very stretched out volunteer coordinator. 2 years ago, I met one such volunteer coordinator. Her name was Sammy Slovey, and she was managing over 2,000 volunteers for the Governor's Ball Music Festival in New York City. And when Sammy discovered Volunteer Local, it was a night and day difference. And like I ask every customer who uses our product, I said to Sammy, what did you do before Volunteer Local? How did you manage all these people? To which she replied, Kaylee, you have no idea. So I said, enlighten me, show me what you used. She sent me her spreadsheet, and here it was. This is just a tiny little screenshot of a snippet of it. It was a beast, to which I replied, whoa. So what does Volunteer Local do? How do we fix the pain? What solution do we provide? Volunteer Local allows volunteer coordinators to create the jobs and shifts they need filled for their event, any event, and they push it live in the form of a website. And volunteers can sign up by simply selecting what they want to do, and then they fill out a registration form on the bottom. No usernames, no passwords, no fuss. We want to make volunteering easier and more accessible by taking away the traditional technology barriers to entry. So if you want to serve beer at the Arts Festival, get in there and serve beer. Some of the benefits of our platform for the coordinator include a mobile-friendly check-in, check-out tool, different types of communication, email and text, reports, and of course an export if you want to do a manual check-in sheet, and then post-event certificates. We know and our data shows that when our coordinators say thank you in any way, they have a higher retention rate year over year. All of this kind of boils down to our tagline at Volunteer Local, which is happy volunteering. You might have noticed it in the lower right-hand corner of my deck here. Happy volunteering is more than just a tagline. This is central to everything that we do and everything that we build at Volunteer Local. Although we don't serve the volunteers directly, we know that the volunteers are the priority for our customers, and those are the volunteer coordinators. So who are our customers at Volunteer Local? In 2016, at the end of the year, we did an internal analysis of all the people who were using our product, and we identified 4 key verticals that we serve best. These were nonprofits, as you can imagine, athletic events, music and art festivals, and then chambers of commerce. You might be wondering how we make money. We have a free version of our product. It is truly a free plan. There's no bait and switch included, no ads, it never expires, and we do not get people to upgrade by creating pain at the free plan. We get them to upgrade by creating a pathway to more features that save the coordinator time. So our pricing is per event or annual for unlimited events, and it ranges from $200 to, as you can see, all the way up to $10,000 per year. So we have a plan to fit any budget, even no budget. In 2016, Volunteer Local experienced tremendous growth. We are a cash flow positive, bootstrapped startup company. Our big milestone last year, we served over 1 million volunteers. Today, we're seeing about 5 to 7 new signups per day. Of course, they're all on the free plan. We tripled our sales from 2014, which is fun. And right now in 2017, we're seeing month-over-month gains that are pretty incredible. It's going to be a good year. Hopefully, we can keep it up. So why the growth? 3 things. Last year, I focused on national partnerships. iAmAthlete is a race registration company. They provide registrations for the athletes, but they don't provide a volunteer product. So we partnered with them to provide Volunteer Local for customers using iAmAthlete. We're also the official technology partner to USA Triathlon. Every USAT sanctioned event can use Volunteer Local for a discount. And then we're socially connected. So if any of you are on your phones, if you have Twitter, I don't mind if you want to pull it up, do a quick search for #HappyVolunteering. You'll find tweets from volunteers all over the world that want to share with their network that they're volunteering for an event near them. Last year, we launched our mobile app. This allows volunteers to check in and check out on site, and they can ask a question. Right now, we're working on creating geofences so that the volunteer coordinator can get an aerial view of where all their people are on the course or throughout the festival, and they can fill the gaps. So today, we're trying to build a company that is, of course, profitable, but really solves a problem for our customers. One of the things that we did last year, I came up with these value statements for Volunteer Local. Every employee at Volunteer Local is required to volunteer 10 hours per year. We can hire anyone, anywhere, so just the 10 hours can be, and it doesn't have to be a customer using our product, it can be any nonprofit or any event that they care about. And truly what we're trying to do is serve the volunteer coordinators so that the job of managing volunteers has a lower churn rate because it's not as difficult. And of course, the volunteer coordinators are happier and the events are more successful. So you might be wondering, like, what's next? We paint this nice picture of how well we're doing. If you asked me today, what's the #1 problem that you're facing at Volunteer Local, I would tell you that we have an awareness problem. We have not really invested in any kind of marketing. All of our new customers come to us from referrals or from sometimes I think Google searching, but we don't pay for Google placement. And so we don't do any marketing beyond the blog. And it's something that we really should improve. We're playing with the idea of providing on-site coordinators to help our customers with check-in and check-out, and then of course organizing and executing the software on-site. Would love to get a few more national partners to help sell our products on our behalf to their clients. So we have to get the buy-in from them to understand the value for their customers so that we can kind of link up and it can be a mutually beneficial partnership. And then of course the $1 million question, or maybe not $1 million, what would you do if you had thousands of free users on your product, short of creating pain, so removing features that we know that they need, and short of advertising. I don't want to do any advertising on the free plan. So, think creatively, put on your entrepreneur hats. Like, what would you do if you had all these free users on your platform? Thank you, and happy volunteering.
Paul Daigle, partner in VoIP Services. What's your conversion rate from the free to the subscription model?
Excellent question. Very low. I want to say less than 10%. Most of our paid clients, we do outreach, so we do cold emails and cold calls. We find them, we demo them on the paid plan. By the time they sign up and actually create an account, they already know what plan they want. So those organic signups that we're seeing, the 3 to 5 per day, those are all on the free plan, and we have a very low conversion rate.
Less than 1%, less than 5%, less than 10%? Less than 10%. What are your revenues?
Oh, I'm not going to share the numbers, but thank you for asking. Very bold, Paul. Very bold.
Is there something else I can't ask?
Any more questions? My name is Kristen Maneri, and I own a local digital media company called DMG Media. I was wondering with those free signups, and you were talking about possibly monetizing them, if you considered rolling them into online tutorials, video seminars, and possibly, trying to think of the right language, but possibly like a free webinar that then they maybe could buy into a webinar series that would teach them how to solve another pain, such as maybe recruiting volunteers or monetizing their events or something like that.
I'm glad this is recorded. It's a great idea. Thank you. I love it. And are you imagining that it would be a webinar series so they would automatically be enrolled when they create their free plan, or would we need some kind of opt-in?
Yeah, I would think that you would want to market to them almost immediately with a free webinar, not the series, but a webinar that would have a lot of great value. And then it'd be throughout the webinar, and then as you were finishing the webinar, and you could run this webinar weekly for anybody new coming in, or you could change up the content monthly. But you would be referencing throughout the webinar that we have this 3-week training boot camp, or this 10-day completely revolutionize your volunteer data. I would recommend following someone named Amy Porterfield. She in the digital marketing world, as far as seminars and webinars are concerned, she is just a total rock star. She's got a wonderful podcast that you can follow. But she runs webinars constantly, rolling people into her product, which is teaching you how to have profitable webinars. So I just love her. I think you get a lot of value from her.
Terrific. Thank you, Kristen.
Connor Smith from Studio 18 and the $5 Mix Club. Just to piggyback off of what Kristen was saying, I can tell you have a digital marketing background, which is awesome. I think the first thing that points out to me is going from $0 to $200, the first one.
200 is the cheapest plan.
Right, and I'm sure it's worth it. It just seems like a big price gap to get to the first one. And one of the things that you can maybe help, bridge that gap is maybe just some digital products. And I really love webinars. I follow a guy named Neil Patel. He's really good too.
Oh, I love you.
Yeah, it was awesome. So, but just maybe some advice that you can give these people that are looking to volunteer, even if it's a booklet, even if it's a 10-page, PDF file. You may be able to sell it for $5, $7, $17, and that can start to balance out the cost that you'll be able to pay to acquire your customers. Because when you really scale, you're going to have to be, in my opinion, paying probably as much as $10, $15 just to acquire my first free person. So to balance that out, maybe a few digital products that are just not as much as $200 might be a good idea.
Cool. I love that idea. Almost like having a product line, digital product line that we can sell to them. Yeah, and cool. That's great. And I was going to say, so we are acquiring the cost as well of their support requests. So we do, one of the things that we really pride ourselves on is the relationship that we cultivate. Even if you're on the free plan, they have a number that they can call, an email that they can reach out to. So when they have questions, they're not paying us a dime, but we're spending our time to make sure they understand how to use the product in the hope that they'll eventually pay the longer that they use it. So it's
Maybe start charging for the customer support right off the bat.
yeah, we could.
You could.
Plan.
But I love the company.
Thank you.
Well, my comment would be marketing is to profit-based companies also, because a lot of profit-based companies put on events, and those events have volunteers. Have you tried marketing for those kind of?
Yeah, so that top plan that I mentioned earlier, the $10,000 per year plan, we have a couple of for-profit festival production companies that are on that version, which is very exciting because, of course, when they're up there, it offsets the cost of all the free users at the bottom. But absolutely, for-profit companies typically have a budget for technology as well.
Yeah, excellent presentation also.
Thank you.
One more question, and apologize in advance if you already answered this in your presentation, but if I'm a volunteer just thinking, hey, I've got an extra 6 hours this weekend, can I go there and search a database of volunteer opportunities? And if your answer is yes, are you marketing that?
Great. This is a fascinating story. In 2015, so I took over the company in 2014. In 2015, I thought we're sitting on this mountain of volunteer opportunities, so we should spin out a sister site called happyvolunteering.com, where we list all the opportunities that are in Volunteer Local by state. So we did it, we built it. And it really fell flat. We tried marketing it, we added it to our homepage. So, are you a volunteer? Click here, go to Happy Volunteering. And I think it fell short for a couple of reasons. We didn't do a great job keeping it populated. We didn't want the events to automatically populate, because sometimes our customers don't want general volunteers. They create their sign-up page and they only want to share it with the PTA, as an example. So that was part of the reason, and then we just didn't see a lot of traffic. We weren't able to garner any new potential leads from it. So if you think about our business model, we sell to volunteer coordinators, we sell to race directors. And so by creating this volunteer module where volunteers could find opportunities, we didn't do a good job relaying the value back to the coordinators to say, you should buy Volunteer Local because you'll get listed on happyvolunteering.com. A little bit of a chicken and egg scenario. Without the traffic, we couldn't prove the value. Without the events, we couldn't get the traffic. Yeah.
So I run a local nonprofit event series called Do Good Date Night, and it's aimed at getting couples to volunteer. So just as an idea, we've been really successful with it. We've had 12 sold out events since we started in September, and events with 60, 80 people who come. And I'm wondering, just as an idea, if the volunteering, most people don't want to go volunteer by themselves. I wouldn't want to do that. And I think one of the success of Do Good Date Night is the fact that we are targeting couples, so it's this thing you go do on date night. And I'm wondering, just as an idea, just to put a little bug in your head, is that maybe it's happy volunteering for couples. I know that's a lot of words, but a way to niche it a little bit so that it doesn't just solve the need of where should I volunteer, but what's something cool I could go do with my significant other. Just an idea.
Oh, I love it. It's a different take. It's embracing the fact that people are people and they like to volunteer with one another. Cool.
Okay, so I'm a member of a church here in Celebration, Florida, and we have many events. So can an organization sign up and then run many events out of the products, or do you have to have one sign up per event?
Yeah, great question. Unlimited events on the free plan, unlimited volunteers, unlimited jobs and shifts, and you can export all your data. And then we have annual versions of the paid plans that cap. So for example, that first tier that's $200 per event, $600 per year, and it's for unlimited events.
Okay, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Just by way of another potential opportunity is I was involved in the American Cancer Society back in the, it started in '89. They had a group called New Directions for the American Cancer Society, which was a singles group. And when I first started working there, we were having one event a month for volunteers to get together and network with each other as singles. And we're doing about 35, 45 people a month. After I took over, we went from 300 people to 2,600 people, and we were having monthly events with 800 people. So the big draw was, there was only one place in town at the time that could do it, and that was the plantation up in Apopka. What really drew the people together was a common thread that they all had, which was being single, and they could work together and get to know each other while they're volunteering. So I don't know if that's something that you might think of as further impetus for getting volunteers back together again, kind of like what we were discussing. I think batteries run out. But I think it relates to what you were talking about earlier as well, that if you can get volunteers more interested in not just volunteering, but something else, then I think that might help.
I like that idea. Like I said, we built out Happy Volunteering and we sorted the opportunities by state, but you're making me think that maybe we should sort by cause. You know, I want to volunteer at an animal shelter. Thank you.
Okay. Oh, excuse me.
Thank you. My name is Ed Walker. I'm also with a digital technology firm, a little bit of marketing space as well. But also before that life, I used to work for Habitat for Humanity. And a lot of, first and foremost, Habitat for Humanity can use what you're doing. Every affiliate that I've ever talked to, the volunteer coordinator has that same first spreadsheet that you talked about. But my question for you more so is, once that volunteer has the app, once they're using it, once they're on site, does Happy Volunteering have any, or does Volunteer Local have any engagement with the volunteers themselves, or is it all about the organization that they're volunteering for at the time?
Great question, and I'm going to answer it, and then I'm going to ask you a question.
Okay.
So we have an actual banner, splash banner, at the bottom of every live event in Volunteer Local, free or paid. And at the bottom it says, click here to learn more about volunteer opportunities in your community. We see about 20% of the volunteers who use our platform opt in to this, and it's the only part of the page that really promotes Volunteer Local. And of course, we pushed over 1 million last year, so you can do the math. It's a big list of people from all over the country. So we have a database of volunteers who have told us they want to be a part of this happy volunteering movement, if you will. What should we do? We haven't done anything with it, not one thing.
I hear you. And I don't have the magic bullet to solve that
Fair
question.
enough.
I wish I did. But in my mind, what I'm thinking is how I can grow that 20%, because I'm not surprised that it's 20%, but I'm a little shocked that it's even that high.
Yeah.
Because what I found with Habitat is once folks get to the volunteer location, we're volunteering for 20 minutes, and then we're Snapchatting, and then we're Facebooking, and then we're hanging out, then we're coming back to work for 20 minutes. And then we're hanging out, and then we're doing this, and we're doing that. So what I always would try to tell Habitat, and this is what long time I won't get in my story, but what I would always say is we need a way to engage with folks while they're on site. We need to have a challenge, or whoever can hammer the most nails in an hour, or something that activates folks on site
Cool.
going on. And that could be something maybe you all spearhead to then move forward to other locations, or who volunteered the most hours this month, or who volunteered this, that, and the third.
I love that, Ed. That's really good. We're trying to incorporate some of that. We haven't really touched the volunteer side very much, but we are integrating YouTube training videos into the job detail. So we're like tiptoeing into those waters, but I think that there could be a lot of value there that we haven't tapped into.
Any other questions? Okay. Well, obviously, lastly but not least, what can we as a community do for you?
Well, Rupert, I'm so glad you asked. We'd love to get more events here in Orlando and in Central Florida. We work with Sunfest. That's our big claim to fame here in Florida, but that's the only one really that we've got. So your Habitat for Humanity chapter, maybe your couples who volunteer if you want to find some opportunities. Let's see if we can't link up and make something happen. And if you don't want to feel like you're selling to your friends and your family and your colleagues, remember that we do have a free version. We're the good guys. It's not ad supported. We don't take the data, we give it back to the coordinator. It's truly unlimited in terms of how much they can use it and how long they can use it. And then the exciting news, we are hiring. Guess what? We're hiring a marketer. I'm terrible at marketing, and we really need to work on it. And clearly there's a lot of ideas and excitement in the room about how we can leverage some of the good stuff that we already have going. So if you are a good marketer, or you know a good marketer, we are a tech company in 2017 and can hire anyone, anywhere. As long as you have Wi-Fi, you can do a job with Volunteer Local. So we're looking for marketing, and we're looking for sales and customer support right now. Thank you so much, you guys.
Thank you.